Are you embracing people to be themselves or they're not true to their brand? And before you answer that, the reason I'm asking is because that's what I'm hearing from you. But also, I watched Chris Rock, his latest Netflix stand up the other day.
Yeah.
And he started off by saying, I'm not going to offend anyone here. And then from that point on, it seemed as though he was acting and putting on a front and not just letting it rip. And it basically created an experience for me, the viewer, like this dude is holding back and not just being his authentic self. And it made for an awkward experience. It wasn't a terrible show or whatever, but it seemed inauthentic. And I think that damaged his performance. So are you advocating for people to just let it rip and be themselves and take the gloves off to create a true and authentic brand?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Not everybody's going to like
Why?
you. Because that's who you are. You're not meant to work with everybody, and you're certainly not everybody's meant to like you. I have a very distinct way of delivering information with clients. It's very direct. Other people want someone who has flowers and unicorns and then finally gets to the same answer. So we all have a different purpose and we all have a different, truly destination in life that we're going with, and we're not meant to work with everyone. So being authentic.
These are your love languages.
Yeah, you got it. It's part of it. Absolutely. I mean, as authentic as you can be, as fast as you can be, will bring the people to you that you're meant to be with. And that's really the most important piece. You miss a lot of life if you aren't authentic quickly.
Is it okay to miss a bunch of people being yourself? Because what if you're kind of just a miser like me?
You
Yeah,
got me.
not
That's
a
why you got me,
miser.
baby. They'll come to me if they don't come to you, right? So it's okay.
That's
We'll balance each other out, my friend.
I think you do miss the path that you're supposed to be on. I know that sounds cheesy and frilly a little bit, but we all have a purpose. We're all created for one, and if we're not who we were created to be, obviously through a kind filter at some point, not always, but doing it the right way and communicating the right way and having the respect for the people we're talking to. I do think you miss friendships. I do think you create the wrong friendships. I do think there are business relationships that you probably shouldn't take or ones that you've missed. Yeah, 100%. People need to see who you are, need to see your gift and your personality, and they will find you when
Does
they need
anyone come to
you.
mind when you say that? Like, does anyone come to mind where they've basically burned the ships and they've really lived their true authentic self for their brand, missed a bunch of people that maybe they turned off, but were successful by going that route? Who comes to mind to you, Mila?
Well, I mean, I think there are successful people like the Elon Musks of the world who a lot of people hate. I mean, I think those are the people when they're authentically themselves and then they have a high driver personality. Those are the ones that typically split the people in half. You either love them or you hate them. I mean, look at Donald Trump. He's a great example of love or hate, right? And it stirs an emotion in you one way or the other typically. So, yeah, I mean, I think there are
Elon came
times
out
when
of the
it,
closet in the last year, right?
who, what?
What
I said Elon came out of the closet in the last year or so. Like he was kind of reserved, and now he's just letting it rip.
Yeah, I think he is who he's always been, but now he's just ready to let it rip even more. Yeah, but I mean, I think that's the idea. Like, not everyone's going to love you, but will he leave a legacy in the world that's hopefully good on some levels? Probably. Other people will hate him. I mean, at the end of the day, not we're not all called to that insane purpose, but or to be that out there with it. But yeah, I think that you'll definitely miss where you should be for sure.
Jake, to answer your question, I think Dave Chappelle on the other side does what he wants to. Doesn't care if he gets canceled. He lets it rip. He says the most obscene things, but he says them whether you're liberal, whether you're a conservative, he doesn't really care. So
Yeah.
people are attracted to that. And they may be awkward because of some of the things he says, but you don't have to listen to him. It's okay. Just shut the TV off and move on. Go listen to something that's not funny to you. I think he's the perfect
But that's where
example.
it's changed in the last few years, where if it's something that you don't like, just move on. That's not necessarily the way people act anymore, and they kind of keyboard warrior and attack you. So what do you do about that? I don't know.
Consistency. I mean, be consistent. Yeah, it's key.
Yeah.
At some point, if you're doing the right thing for the right reason, even if you're Dave Chappelle, if you're consistent, eventually your brand is just your brand. It is who you are.